Hi, Steve here. Welcome to this tutorial on Greyhound Price Monitor. If you've been a user of our racehorse price monitor, then this is very similar, except it doesn't have the steamer and drifter option. Okay, so the first thing when you open the screen, obviously you would need to go to your settings, and in the settings here we have the 4 countries with the greyhounds. So you deselect any country that you're not interested in. We leave all 4 selected. It gives you the time zone of the races, so I am +8 Greenwich Mean Time, so it's in my time. And then we have the first option we have is latest odds option. Now it can record the pricing right up until they jump, but the problem is you've got to put your bet on. So I suggest 10 seconds before the off is a good time to catch all the final movements. I mean, if you're a little bit slow on the trigger finger, then you can obviously drift it out a little bit. You can use up to the actual start, but the thing with this is, if you're looking at past results, it's not an accurate guide as to whether you would be able to put your bet on or not. So use seconds before the start. Now T1 is the first time frame that you want to capture. Now you can have an exact time, like you might want to start looking at the races at, say, at 12 o'clock if you're doing some Australian racing, but I prefer to use minutes before the race. And because greyhounds markets form so late, where in the horses we can use 120 minutes and 60 minutes, I've found testing it in that the best returns and the most accurate is to keep it tight. And I'm using from my very first time recording is 6 minutes before the official start. T2 is at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then of course 10 seconds before it will stop recording the prices for me. So that's in 1 minute increments, and I find that I get enough accurate information using it that. But if you want to start looking at the races 15 minutes out, then you put in 15 minutes. If you're doing research on the past results, you can change these times, and the time and the price movement reflected will reflect the times that you put in. So that's what I run with, and that's what I'll show you how I do. Once I've done that, we have the submit button down the bottom here. So we just submit that, and what it does, it tells us that it's made the changes and we are good to go. So once we've done that, we have our countries there. Great Britain obviously hasn't started yet, and then we can come down into New Zealand. New Zealand's nearly finished racing for the day, 2 meetings at Manawatu and Addington. Then we've got the Australian meetings here. Okay, also before I get into a little bit more, another thing you'll find up here is, if you go along here, it has the race number, the race distance, and the grade. This is a grade 5, and as you can see here, because I have mine set at 10 seconds before the off, the last recording of odds there is 11 seconds before the official start time. 11:17, and the official start time is 11:18, so you can see there. Over round, so the market is at 101%, so pretty close to 100% market. And the other important thing here is money matched. It's always in pounds, doesn't matter if it's in New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, it's always in pounds. We can see in this race here at Warrnambool, race 11, there was £9,249. And there was 8 runners from 8, so there was no scratchings or anything. So that's why we now see in the Australian racing, you'll see 2 blue Ps if there's 8 dogs starting, so they'll play first, second and third on 8 dogs. And if there's less than 8, then there will be 2 places down to 4 starters, then there'll only be a win price. So that is the times up there. If we go down the bottom, we can see there, this is my settings. You can see that I've just talked about my T1 time, which is this time here. The first one is set at 6 minutes, right down there. Okay, so how do we make some sense of these figures? Before we do that, I'll just explain. Okay, so how do we use the tool? Well, it is a tool, and it's up to you how you use it. Different time frames will give you different readings. We have a very important option here, which is the market movement and the price movement. Now, if I look at the market movement, for example, and we just look at this race here, number 3, Just Gab. 6 minutes out, it was at $3.80. Now, with 10 seconds to go, it's at $2.82. That is a 9% shift in the market share that this dog has. Okay, so it's quite a big movement. It's coming nearly a full dollar from 3.8 to 2.882 in the 6 minutes. If I change this price movement, market movement to price movement, you can see there it's a 25% movement from 3.8 to 2.12. But we find that price movement is not as accurate guide as market movement. If it's moving in the market, it's a far better indicator. So we can see here that this dog has moved nearly 10% in the market. So it's a big mover. And I find in my research, doing it from the 6 minute mark to the off, anything that's 5% market price or more is usually a good bet. If it's 10 or more, it's a very good bet. So we can see here that Just Gab won because it's got the green W, and we can see there these are the markers that indicate. So the first marker there is the T1 price to now. So we can see that's green, meaning the price has moved in a positive direction. It's shortening. The second price at 5 minutes, at 4 minutes, at 3 minutes, all those prices were higher than the current price. And the two reds mean the price was lower. So if we go out to T5, we can see it was at 2.74 and it was at 2.78 with a minute to go. This is the 1 minute and 2 minute price. Okay, so in the horses we used to look at all greens, but we were looking over a longer time factor. Now with the shorter time factor, the T1 time to the current is a better indicator. Because with the dogs, we're looking at a short time frame and there are fluctuating prices. You can see in the dogs here, in this race, the favourite 6 minutes out was at 2.32. Just Gab was second favourite at 3.8, and our Bruni was 5.2, third favourite. So there's not a lot of difference between the first two. So the price is going to jump around and we're going to get our red and green bars. So as far as the bars go, if they're all green, great. But this figure here, the movement from the T1 time to the current time is a better indicator. Now I just want to show you something else here. On the price here, on the market, £9,000 is invested in race 11. If I go to race 12 at Warrnambool, you can see something interesting here. We have the third favourite at the 6 minute mark, called Floppy Roo, has moved 9.47% in price in 5 or 6 minutes. So it's a big move. It's nearly our 10%, and it's all green, so it's been coming in all the time. The second favourite remains its second favourite, and it's come in also. But look at the money invested in the race. There's £24,000. So there's 15,000 in race 12 than there was in race 11, and it had a very strong two dogs at the top of the market, indicating that there was some money in that race that indicated they knew more about the dogs than the average Joe. So that was a very strong indicator. It didn't get it to 10%, but certainly was over our 5%. All green, and it's come in nearly a full dollar. So Floppy Roo would have been a very good bet on the price movements in the last 6 minutes. But another big indicator of the winner I've noticed in the time I've been testing this is the top two. If the top two produces a lot of winners, and you'll see there from the 6-minute mark, the T1 mark, to the current price mark, how dogs that are down third and fourth on this T1 mark end up being first and second and end up winning. It's a very high percentage. Also keep an eye out for, like the Bundaberg race here, race 1, we can see there's only £2,300 invested in this race. Okay, and it sort of throws up. We've got a odds on favourite there, moved in 4.56, ran second. But with the low amount of money in there, I'm finding with the lower pool, it's not as good an indicator as the markets that have a lot more money in them. So keep that in mind. Also, what you have here is we can go back and look at yesterday's races. So we can go back here and we can see here's the Irish racing from yesterday. We can look at some of the night meetings here. Central Park, £23,000. So we're getting up there. The top two winner, Swindon, nothing outstanding there. £23,000. Small firmer there at Henlow, £22,000. So we can see there a few dogs moving in there, but a top two winner at £27,000. So that top two do win a lot of races. So you may want to look at our deluxe Dutching, which is ideal to if you run those two. So where are we here? Swindon. The third dog won £33,000. The outsider one there from 25s out to 42, £72,000 there at Central Park. Henlow, another top two winner, a big mover there but didn't win, and £37,000. Swindon, 5% mover and a 6% mover there. 5% mover, Jockey Girl, got the cash, but a top two winner for us again. Central Park, 49,000 in the pool, over 5% winner for us. 1.79, bit short, so I don't like taking the short ones. And Henlow, what have we got here? Another top two winner. No big market movers there. Swindon, the top two winner, but no big market movers there again. Central Park, no big movers. Well down the market there. I mean, the rough ones still come in, we can't help that. A really rough one down there, 32, but no big market movers. As you can see, nothing moved. So the market must have been a little bit over before at the 6-minute mark. Only 22,000 in that pool. Henlow, top two winner there. Central Park, another rough one. Ronnie Tread, 11s out to 16s. No major firms here. We can see that nothing moved in the last 6 minutes. Nothing moved within 2.5 points either way. That's a good reflection. If we just go back to Central Park, that's a good reflection there on that. There's no real direction. There's no pushing for any major, dog, and even the outsiders haven't drifted that much. So there's no internal knowledge. Everyone thinks everyone's got a fairly good chance in that race. You won't get bets in every race, so keep that in mind. Here we've got an over 5, but no good for us. 17,000 in the pool. Getting near the end of the night. Henlow, another top two winner, but very short, but 13 points. 13% firmed in price from 6 minutes at 2.4 out to 1.83. And the last one at Central Park, another outsider, Prince of Troy. But another race where nothing moved much at all. 44,000 spent, and they didn't really have a favourite. Even the 16-1 dog that won it only moved minus half of 1%. Okay, so thanks for watching this tutorial. It is a tool, remember, but there's many ways of using it, and I look forward to hearing how you went with yours. We've got the user guide there, which will bring you back to this video. You can hide ticks or show ticks. If we hide, there's the ticks of these little numbers here. That tells you how many ticks it's moved in on the Betfair, or you can hide them. It's up to you. Okay, thanks for watching this. On behalf of Michael and myself, Steve, we wish you all the best with Greyhound Price Monitor. If you haven't got the horse one, have a look at the link below this video, and you may want to get involved in the horse one as well. It does more countries, obviously, South Africa as well. So we wish you all the best. Thank you.